everyone. Welcome to Laser Tech Tuesdays at 2. I'm Jay Cottrell, and I'm the Marcom Manager here at LTI. Every Tuesday around 2 p.m. Mountain Time, we go live for about 15 minutes, and we discuss solutions in traffic safety or in professional measurement. So you can grab a cup of coffee and join us. Today, I am talking with Jason Hooten from Leica Geosystems, and we're going to talk about some professional measurement solutions for contractors today. So Jason, thanks so much for joining us today.
No, thanks for inviting me. Very happy to be here.
All right. Can you introduce yourself? Because I will make a hash of it. So tell us your name, your title, what you do with Leica, and maybe how you got there.
Yeah, sure. No problem. My name is Jason Hooten. I'm with Leica Geosystems. I am their GIS sales and support manager for the U.S. and Canada region. I've been here a couple of years now, and been in the industry, specifically mapping and GIS, since 2000. So have a long history of this industry and working with the various manufacturers. One point with Trimble even in my earlier days, and now here at Leica. And mostly focused on GIS field data collection. So can do some things in the office, but really my main focus has always been working with the field crews on data collection and ways of making that both efficient and safe for them.
So I know Leica is a very well-known name in optics and cameras. Can you tell us a little bit about the Geosystems side of Leica?
Sure. Leica Geosystems has been around about 200 years now, believe it or not. So very big with total stations, GNSS, scanning equipment, and imaging, camera systems for taking the aerial photos from the plane. So Leica Geosystems has many different core technologies that we provide for the industry. Has a well-known reputation globally for both quality and for just being about the best that you can get for your money. And so we really focus on like surveying, mapping, some engineering things. Even Hollywood, believe it or not, uses some of our scanning technologies where what we've seen is they'll scan facades of certain buildings, and then they'll use those scans and actually replicate those so that something that is really only maybe a single story or two story, they'll actually extrapolate that and kind of use those scans and make them look really tall in some of these movies. So it's really neat to see how our technology can be used in the traditional methodologies and then through some of the side stuff that you might see in Hollywood or TV. We've seen stuff in movies as well where the technology was used with a boring machine where they were running a cable from, I think it was somewhere out in Kansas all the way to New York City to be able to do stock trading faster. So, it's been highlighted, the use of this technology in many, many different ways. But my main focus has always been the GIS and the mapping. And you'll find that here at Leica, we're very focused on accuracy. We don't do as much on the lower end, less accuracy area, but we really focus on the high accuracy. So big focus is utilities, things that are buried where accuracy is most important so that we don't strike utilities. And so that's really where we really focus our attention and our efforts.
That is really interesting. I didn't know that about the Hollywood backgrounds and everything. Oh, yeah. I knew that they digitized the map paintings now, but I didn't know how. So that's awesome. So as technology is advanced, Leica has as well, and you have an app that has been on the market for a little while, and you've just revamped a whole bunch of things about it. Can you talk to us a little bit about the Leica Zeno Mobile app?
Absolutely. Yeah, we actually started off mostly just using OEM ArcPad from Esri, and we had provided additional tools in there. And while we were doing that, we started looking at additional functionalities and field routines that were needed for the folks that we were really targeting. So we started writing Zeno Mobile 5-6 years ago, and this software has continued to evolve, and it's very focused on the field user. And many of the things that we've been integrating the last 2 years has really, moved that software further down the road to where it's a very advanced software, but yet extremely still very easy to use. So some of the things that we've been adding is the integration with Esri, where you can kind of like Esri collector and Esri field maps. You submit the information and it synchronizes back. We do the same thing in our software where we can synchronize the data back to ArcGIS Online or even Enterprise. So we think that's a big plus because most GIS coordinators no longer want to mess with importing, exporting shape files, handling that data manually anymore. So we've automated that. We've added multi-collect capabilities where you collect multiple features at the same time. That's actually very unique. And then, of course, recently we updated to support the laser offsetting for our distos and the laser tech lasers. So laser tech and our distos are the only lasers that we support. But we've integrated that with a few different routines, kind of depending upon the laser that you're using and whether it has a compass in it or not. So you can do a single shot where they use the compass and the distance and just do the offset, or you can do azimuth and azimuth or distance as well. So we got a few different routines that are built in there. And the really nice thing about it being built in our software versus some other routines that are set up out there is it's all in our software. You don't have to use an external software and then feed that information over there and synchronize that. So everything is fully integrated in our software. And we manage Z values extremely well as well. And it just makes for customers that are very focused on high accuracy 3D collected data. We seem to manage that extremely well versus others. And with the lasers, obviously, you do get that efficiency of being able to reach out and collect features without moving up to each and every one of them. But I really believe that, beyond the efficiency that everyone looks at, probably the greatest value in that is the safety. Often, since I'm working with a lot of utilities, we see that they may want to collect something on the side of the house that's got a fence around it. And there's a reason there's a fence around it, because the big dog on the other side doesn't want you there.
Right.
A lot safer to go ahead and take that shot outside the fence than try to run over there and not have Sparky chase you down. So, we believe we can stay outside the fence, still gather the point highly accurately, or we could avoid workers playing Frogger, running out in traffic trying to get a manhole, and they can stand on the side of the road safely and still very accurately collect that position. So these are some of the things that we see on a daily basis, and the value of having those integrated with our system is just really priceless. Yes, great efficiency, but the safety. We don't need anybody getting hurt doing their job. The cost of losing someone or injuring someone on the job is even far greater than the efficiency gains that you get.
Right, and you really shouldn't need combat pay or hazard pay for collecting features as you're mapping through your job. I hope not, no. So we've talked about saving time, and we've talked about how things integrate, and it's wonderful that everything is integrated within the mobile app, because personally, I have found every time you touch data, it gets corrupted, even when you're trying to be very, very careful with it. So the less you touch it, the better your data is, which is wonderful about the Xena Mobile app. So if someone was interested in acquiring the app or learning more about Leica Geosystems, where would they go?
Well, you can certainly go to our Leica Geosystems website. And quite honestly, the best way to do it is just to Google for Leica Zeno. And the reason why is Zeno is kind of our brand, if you will, for the GIS products. So if you look up Leica Geosystems Zeno, you're going to bring up our GNSS receivers, our software, and so forth. We have a ton of videos on YouTube. So we maintain a lot of videos. In fact, every time we put out an update, we actually put a new video out on YouTube that shows everyone what the changes are in the software, how we've added new functionality, or how we've made something a little more streamlined. We always put that out there. That way everyone can very easily see what's going on with the software, instead of having to download some kind of release notes going, okay, what's different about the software this time? We find a quick 2-minute video is far better than digging through PDFs and seeing what the changes are.
It's easier to show and tell.
It really is. And if you go to our website for Zeno Mobile and you actually go there, we have it there where you can actually just enter some information and we can send you a 30-day trial license of Zeno Mobile. So very easy to get access to or to give it a shot.
That's wonderful. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about today? Any thoughts? I mean, you really emphasize the safety, and safety is important as well as accuracy.
Yeah, accuracy is important. We continue to drive what we believe is new ways of doing work and also crossing barriers. There's a lot of times that what you see in the industry is this product only works with these products over here and it cannot cross over, and step over maybe to the survey world. And we a lot of times we realize that we have customers that have a foot on each side, the GIS side and on the surveying side. So in the software, we've made strides to support both sides, really. So we have a nice stakeout routine that does more than what a GIS person really needs, but will meet the needs of some basic stakeout for surveyor. And we've also added some support for our survey receivers. So our very high-end receiver, the GS18T, which has the tilt capability, so you can collect with the pull over to the side like this and still accurately locate everything. We have that fully integrated into our software, which is very unique from a mapping software. Normally, you wouldn't have access to this type of technology that's found on the survey side. But we've opened up our software to where we can actually work with that. And I think probably about the biggest development that we've had is two things. Smart positioning, which just got turned on at the beginning of March. For everybody out there that's collected field data and had to go back and download the file and then post-process and download all the data, they're going to love this because what we've done is we've removed the need for an office software to do post-processing. Now, when you're out there in the field, let's say you were doing network RTK, but you've lost corrections, it'll recognize that you've lost those corrections and start logging the raw data. When you get your internet connectivity back, it will notify you that you have so many positions that could be improved. All you do is say yes, that you would like for that to happen. And we use cloud computing to go ahead and post-process all the positions that you have on your data collector that didn't have a correction applied to it. It'll correct all those and update them right there on the data collector. No more waiting to go back to the office and do all that downloading. So you'll actually see all your data on the screen just pop right to where it should be.
That's pretty amazing.
It is. It's one of those things that most people don't know, but we're trying to get the word out about it, that we've released this new technology and we'd like for people to take a look at it. So
yeah, that makes things even more simple. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So you've used a few of our lasers. Yep. What would you say your favorite laser to use has been?
Well, 360B, because of the size, simplicity of it. Mm-hmm. As you know, been around a long time and used the earlier lasers like the Impulse 200. And, with that one, extremely customizable. Loved it, very accurate. But they had three buttons. I believe it was three buttons on each side. And you could actually flip the functionality of the left to the right. And sometimes guys would mess with each other and they would flip that functionality around. And then from a salesman perspective, when your customer does that to their fellow worker, then you get a support call and you're trying to figure out what's going on, and you quickly realize that somebody's messing with them and flipping the functionality around. So the Impulse 200 was always great because highly accurate, worked great, but sometimes would make support interesting when people would start messing with each other, changing the functionality of the buttons. So sometimes having all that additional functionality to change and make things for you sometimes can be a backfire for support. But lasers from LaserTech have always been great, very reliable, rugged, and accurate. And you couldn't ask for anything else.
As long as you're pushing the right button.
As long as you're pushing the right button, yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Jason. I want to thank everyone else who has joined us today. We are proud to work with Leica Geosystems, and we encourage everyone to learn more about their solutions because, like you said, you come out with new stuff all the time that makes the job easier, faster, and safer. So that's amazing. If you would like to be alerted about upcoming Tuesday at 2 events, please click the like button and follow LaserTech's page. And if you're watching our replay on the LaserTech Pro YouTube channel, click subscribe and click the notification bell so you can be alerted to our new videos. Join us again next week. We will be live again at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. And until then, keep measuring safely and working hard. Thank you.